Yo, what's going on? Chris, how you doing this morning, buddy?
Good, man. How you been?
Fantastic. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. What's going on,
Welcome,
everyone?
guys.
Can you hear me?
Some people popping in here. Yeah. Welcome, guys. So today's elephant challenge is going to be super neat because guess what? This is all centered around you guys. This is going to be your guys' show today. If you guys have some questions, please shoot Chris and or I a message, and we'd love to send you a link. Let's get you up here, and we want to answer all of your guys' questions. Today is going to be a Q&A, specifically all catered around all things Elephant Challenge. Chris, did I miss anything?
No. Thank you guys for joining again. We are streaming from Facebook and YouTube, so you're more than welcome to ask any questions on whether platform you're on. Also, those individuals are in the Zoom link. Please ask for the link for the StreamYard if you have any questions as well. Appreciate you guys joining us today. This is episode number 5. We were supposed to not have this episode today. However, Pace moved the Elephant Challenge to next week, so pretty neat. We figured let's get on, see what questions or concerns they may develop during the week, and see how we can overcome them with them.
Father Pace. Guys, hey, real quick, let's start this meeting off with in the right mindset and in the state of gratitude. If you guys are watching this right now, take a screenshot. Go post it in the free creative group. Go post it on your Facebook page, because you guys know we're about to drop some freaking bombs. Go tell Carly and Pace thank you. Carly and Pace, if you guys are watching this right now, thank you from the bottom of our heart. Chris and I are very humbled and appreciative of the opportunity to get in here and to help grow this thing. And if you guys are getting value from this, man, please just share it. Go tell somebody. Go share what you learned. Go type in there. Go tell somebody, because we're all on this journey together, trying to create this legacy for ourselves, for our families, for the people that we love and that we're surrounding ourselves with. And we're all on this. What am I trying to say? We're all on this journey together. Some of us are a few chapters ahead of other people. So if you guys get any value from this, take this and share that with the people that are just a couple chapters behind you. That's all that we ask. That is the only fee that we have. But Chris, let's get this going, man. Who's got? We got some in the comments right now.
So it looks like we have Denise in here. Let's see. Denise, you don't mind if we bring you up and spotlight you?
I think Denise is going to have her camera on. Reginald's Watson. Reg, what's going on, man? It's freaking great to hear from you, bro. Miss you, brother. Good morning. Good morning. So
why she's trying to get her mic to work. So Jesse, one thing that really, hey Carly, how you doing? Good to see you here. Thanks for everything you do. If you guys are not, squatting up with Carly, reaching out to her, she's a phenomenal individual, genuine soul, and truly cares about everyone's well-being. So she is definitely one. Carly, Jesse, and I are truly thank you for everything you've done for the community and everything. I know you got your family, and you literally take time out of your busy day to make things happen, and I truly appreciate that.
Carly, yes, thank you. If you guys don't know her, Carly right here is carrying this entire Elephant Challenge on her back. Please go give her a big thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
So
start from chapter 1.
I love that. I wish I knew exactly who that was.
I think if you guys are watching this in the creative group, go up to, if you go, Carly might be able to articulate this or maybe give a little bit more guidance in the comments. But if you guys are watching this from a Facebook group or a Facebook page, I think you might have to go in there, and there's a link at the top that says allow StreamYard to show your Facebook name or something like that. I'm pretty sure there's a link up there.
Yeah, I think you guys may have to change in your settings. We can't really see on our end for some reason. But yeah, thank you guys again for joining. I truly appreciate it. Again, we're streaming from Facebook, YouTube, and other platforms as well. Well, please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Just just engage, squad up, work with each other. I'm pretty sure if we don't know the answer, somebody in the comments definitely do. We're here to help see everyone be successful and not just that. Miguel, what's going on, man? Got to get Miguel in here. 1 second.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yo, there he is.
What's going on, guys?
Freaking Miguel in the flesh via satellite.
How are you guys, man?
Amazing.
Good, man. It's amazing to see you, bro.
I missed you guys last week. I couldn't find the link.
Mm.
And the week before that, I was just jammed up, man. But I'm here. We're here.
It's amazing to see you, bro. Thank you for being here.
Both of you guys, man. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. It's just been literally day by day, taking down properties, buying them. Actually, Jesse, want to tell them the news about our Alaska property?
We're just a couple busy gals, man. What specifically? Give me a hint.
As far as so a lot of people don't know that Jesse lives in Alaska, right? A good old Alaska, smaller town, but there's a lot of real estate out there, right? However,
there's a couple igloos.
However, we are taking down a couple properties out there. We're actually doing a novation on one of them. We're actually doing a subtel on another, and doing a lease option on the third one, right? And a lot of people think like, how can you virtually do all this stuff? Because a lot of people don't know I'm from New York, but my business partner's in Alaska. But there's a lot of crazy, exciting things that this community has built that literally I'm truly thankful for. Not just Carly Pace that he built this entire community to have us just even meet. Jesse and I met at Pace's house, and from there we started our business. And I'm not the same person as I was 6 months ago, even last year. It's just every week, every month, the dynamic continues to grow. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And literally, I never thought I'll be buying a property in Alaska. Like with people, a couple years ago, someone told me, Chris, you're gonna buy a property in Alaska. I was like, no, let alone virtually.
Chris, you know what's crazy about this, dude? I specifically remember sitting in. I think it was 7th grade. I'm sitting in 7th grade class. Ironically enough, my geography teacher, his name was Glenn Stanton. No relation. Really? But we're sitting there learning the capitals of every state, and I remember specifically we talked about Alaska for like a microsecond, and I remember just thinking like, man, wonder what's up there. And it's so crazy because I specifically had that thought, dude, and now I'm here, man. It's crazy, let alone buying properties and stuff here in Alaska. It's kind of interesting. But isn't that neat what this community like what it delivers, what the possibilities are coming together, participating and being intentional with this elephant challenge, networking, and having these high-level conversations, man. You never know where it's going to lead you. That's
meeting
so
great
crazy.
People virtually.
Oh my gosh, yes. All my best friends are all virtual relationships. How crazy is that?
My life has gone up, right? and just value, just being with, talking with people like you, Ken, Rick, Jetta, all those amazing people that you connected me with. My life has just gone up exponentially, bro, and super appreciative for that. You guys are definitely awesome, and I hope everyone on here right now is making an effort to reach out to you guys and, show you guys some love, bring you guys some business, and allow you to, teach them the things that you guys know, open those doors like you did for me.
Much appreciated.
Bro, thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. We really appreciate that. Absolutely. But you know what, Miguel? Thank you for taking action, bro. Thank you for going in there, not just being somebody who jumped in and put the Zoom on mute, turned your camera off, and just sitting there playing games, dinking around, and half-ass listening, dude. That was not you. Thank you for not being that person. Thank you
Thank you.
Sincerely, thank you.
I haven't shaved since I met you guys.
Me neither. Me neither, Miguel.
No, it's good to have you back, Miguel. I know you're probably busy last couple of weeks, but we're glad to have you back.
I appreciate being here. Good to see you guys. Let's get this meeting off to a good start. Everyone, what we looking like in here, man? I can't got this new StreamYard thing going. I can't see how many people are here, but
it's good to see you, man.
Let's go.
Love it, brother. Well, thank you for jumping in, Miguel. Let's get to some Q&A, guys. Who's got questions? Where are you guys at in your business? Where are you at with this challenge? Specifically, what can Chris and I help answer for you guys right now? We want to get you guys off to the right start. We want to make sure you guys have the clarity and you guys have action steps. So as soon as this meeting is done, we're going to try to keep this to an hour. So we've probably got about 48 more minutes, give or take, somewhere in there. And we want to try to deliver as much value as we freaking can. So Ian says, there, I think I figured it out. Hi, all. Noob starting at chapter 1, reporting in. Bro, Ian.
Love that.
Thank you. I love that, dude. We've all been there. We've all been at chapter 1, bro.
Absolutely. And it's not easy, right? But you're in the right place. You're literally in the right place. You're literally surrounded by individuals who's going to make sure you get to the right place, the next level. You're chapter 1. You might be in chapter 2 by next week by meeting the right people.
100%, man.
Let's definitely you have any questions right now being a newbie into the real estate industry?
If you do, definitely throw it in the chat. We'd love to address that. Oh, here we go. Here's a good one, Chris. How to recognize a deal in this market? Let's start there. What are some of your thoughts, Chris?
So recognize a deal in any market, right? The numbers got to work out. 1, 2. It just really depends on specifically what you're looking for. Are you a buyer? Are you a wholesaler? I think that plays a huge factor. If you're buying a property, then you may have different specifications that only works for you. That doesn't work for me or Jesse. Versus if you're wholesaling, then there's a formula you should utilize to take down the property. Across 50 states. Each state may have a little different variation, but usually we use the 70% rule. Jesse, would you say?
Yeah. For right now, I'd probably say that's pretty safe using it just across 6 months ago, let alone over the last couple of years. I think Chris is going in and out, or he either that or he's just being really, really still right now.
I'm back. I think I'm back.
He's back.
I don't know what happened, but I think I'm back.
Yeah, the market's kind of taken a shift, obviously, but I think just from what Chris and I are kind of seeing nationally, I think right now I'd feel safe saying, if you start out at that 70% minus rehab minus wholesale, that's going to put you at a good ballpark. I haven't been able to not dispo a property because those are the numbers that we used or that somebody else used. So I
want to touch on this. I want to touch on this question. Is it Ian or Ian? I want to make sure I'm saying it right.
I think it's Ian.
I'm extremely good at butchering names. Just throwing that out there, guys. But no, Ian, I just want to touch base on that. So when Pace speaks about different markets, right? It's more so for where he's at in his life. So initially, he loves the specific markets like Arizona, Texas, Dallas specifically. About 10, 15 years ago, maybe he would invest in Washington State. Is Washington State a great state to be in? I think it is. I personally, would I invest in there? 100%. If the numbers work out, there's something that makes sense, and there's at least 2 exit strategies on the property, I'll 100% buy it. However, Pace, when he speaks about where he's at in his stage of his life. He's got a lot of different business opportunities, a lot of different businesses, and he's at a point where in life he get to decide and choose exactly what state he wants to invest in, and that's bad for him. There's a lot of people that Jesse and I know very well. Sam Golden, he lives in Washington. He loves that market.
We love Sam.
And we love Sam. And Sam's phenomenal, amazing individual. And it really depends on specifically what your buy box. And it seemed like from the questionnaires, it seemed like you more of a buyer or want to get into buying properties versus wholesaling. And I'm looking at the bottom part of it. the ground eventually move in the building. So are you looking to actually specifically like be like a developer, or are you looking just to buy properties? So I kind of want to touch base on that. Ian Evans Newbie here as well, listening and watching. And Ian, I would like to bring you in and spotlight you if we can. Oh, okay. There you go. Let him not alone. Got it. Ian. Okay, it's Ian. There you go. He put it in the chat. Yeah, man. Nice to meet you. Definitely. Let's connect. Let's connect afterwards. Jesse and I can, or just, you're in the comments right now. If you're not on one of our YouTube channels, definitely squad up within the comments and get to know everyone and see who is actually in that specific market that's dominating. I think that's a great way to look at it and move forward. Because initially, before you start reaching out, decide exactly what you really want to do. Like, do you want to be a developer? Do you want to be a buyer? Do you want to just wholesale? And there's no wrong answer there. And that's the number one challenge with the real estate. A lot of people don't realize there's so many different avenues you can do or go to make a lot of money. I personally have right now 4 different streams of income. But I focused on one. When I first got into real estate, I focused on one. And it was just wholesaling. And I loved it. And then when I mastered wholesaling, moved into the next lane, and I started really buying properties and then doing TC and so on and so on. So it's just, long story short, just make sure whatever direction you go into, stick to it, stay consistent, be intentional with it. Don't, do it for about a week or two and to decide to go to a different direction. That's not really consistent. That's just, more so not motivated. You're just trying to find a quick, easy fix. I'm not, talking at you. I'm just talking as far as in the realm of what people have done in the past. That is all. Carly.
I agree, Chris.
Oh,
I think there's a delay. There might be a delay between me and you.
Okay.
But I think that a lot of people, especially when they first get started, here's the problem. And Pace said this best. He said that in real estate, the problem with real estate is there are too many ways to be successful. Chris, would you agree with that?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Now, the reason is let me give you an example. Let's say you got somebody who it jumps into real estate and they're like, hey, I have no idea what to do with my hands. I don't even know anything about real estate, but I want to go learn how to make money, which is great, which is phenomenal. That's where we all started and what we're trying to do, right? So absolutely. You have somebody that, let's say they start in wholesaling, right? And they got to, without leads, you don't have a business. So they got to start figuring out a way to market for leads. Now, let's say you have somebody who's like, hey, I want to start off by door knocking. And so let's say they start door knocking and maybe a week or two into it, they're on Facebook and all of a sudden they come across a picture of somebody in their community or somebody they know with a wholesale check for $40,000 on it. And then what's going to happen next? What do you think everybody in the comments are doing? Chris, what's everybody in the comments doing?
Oh, shiny object syndrome all day.
Right? What'd you do? How'd you get the $40,000 check? What kind of, where'd you find the lead? Blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, oh, hey, well, I found this from cold calling pre-foreclosures. And then so you started out door knocking. Now what do? You're like, nope. This clearly is not working for me. So I'm going to pivot and I am going to start cold calling pre-foreclosures. And then 2, 3, 4 weeks later, you see somebody else who posts another check for $20,000. Oh, hey, well, what'd you do to get that check? Oh, well, I got this from a probate lead. So what do you do now? Now you stopped door knocking and you stopped cold calling pre-foreclosures because you're like, oh my gosh, I need to go build relationships with probate attorneys. And then if that doesn't work, you start figuring out, oh, wow, I can go be a lender. I can go do all these things. So that's what we're talking about. And when Chris says you need to focus on one thing, just focus on one stinking thing, which actually brings up that's probably a good segue into this question. How do we work with you guys when first starting out? My starting market is Florida, and my strategy is calling agents and targeting properties that have been 90 plus days on the market. Wholesale and creative is my starting points. Fantastic question. I would probably venture a guess most people probably watching this can resonate with this question. Like, this is what I'm doing now. How do I grow this? How do I work with other?
opportunity they may be, I'm going to lead with value. I'm going to reach out to them and say, I'm going to say, hey, Jesse, this is what I can do. How can I plug this into your business? And a lot of people do the opposite. And more so, they're just saying, how can I, just take. Me personally, I go in with the intention of not receiving anything back. No offense or buts about it. That's literally how Jesse and I focus our entire, business or relationships. At the end of the day, we always like to go in and just establish, one, a relationship, and two, this is the value I can bring to you. They may not need that value, but at the same time, you lead them with value, let them know exactly what the next steps may be and how potentially you guys can be working together. Jesse, what are your thoughts about that?
I totally agree with you 100%, bro. One thing that I and I think I shared this maybe a few weeks ago with some of the other people that were in a Zoom with us, but I'll share it again because I feel like it really articulates how easy this is for everybody to come together, to squat up and to make money together. This is how you should be thinking about things. And once you understand it to this level, I mean, when scaling from here is just, the sky's the limit. Okay. And this is what I mean. Absolutely. Let's go back to high school for a second. Let's say there was a subject. Everybody's got that subject, right? That they just absolutely hated in high school. They did not resonate with it. They hated the teacher. Maybe they hated the subject or whatever it was. They were like, for me, it was math. I absolutely hated math, Chris. Can you believe it? Math is my Achilles heel. Why do you think I don't do the underwriting? So let's say Jesse could go back to high school. But here's the thing that you need to keep in mind. When you think about things like high school or college, or when you think of things in terms of like a baseball game or a football game or a soccer game or whatever, everything that we're doing, the corporate world even, those are all very finite games. They're all very finite way of thinking. And what I mean by that is everything has a beginning and an end. You're allowed to have X amount of players in the game. You're only allowed to do X amount of things. You have these rules that you have to follow. You can do this, 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 and this, but you can't do this and you can't do that. We can't have more than, 5 people on the court, or we can't, whatever that freaking looks like. And so it's a very finite way of thinking. There's a beginning, there's an end. You have 4 quarters. Each quarter is this long and et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of people approach business from that same mentality. And I think that's why a lot of people have a hard time making that transition from a W-2 to an entrepreneurial mindset, because it is a very, very finite way of thinking. So I wanted to paint that picture real quick, because let's go back to the scenario that I was started with. Let's say you could go back to high school. Let's say Jesse went back to high school, and let's say I could go back and redo every math class that I ever took. Okay. And now, like I said, math is my Achilles heel. It's not a good use of my time. It's not a good use of my energy. I absolutely hate it. But what if I could go back and it was not considered cheating, and I could do it was up to whatever my imagination could perceive for me being able to get an A in math. The sky's the limit. Jesse, what do you want to do to get an A in math? Well, let's say that Albert Einstein. Let's say Albert Einstein was still alive. He was pretty good at math, I think, wasn't he, Chris?
I think so. Pretty good.
I think so. So let's say just as an example, right? Let's say I could make Albert Einstein. Let's say I could pull him in, and I could all I had to do was show up to class, get my math homework, and I just give that over to Albert Einstein. Now, I think Albert's, from what I hear, he's pretty decent at math, right? So Albert does my homework. He gives it back to me. I submit it to my teacher. Now, of course, I got 100. And now I've got a 4.0 grade point average, because that part that was a hindrance in my schooling or in my curriculum or whatever it was I was trying to accomplish is now not an issue anymore, because I could bring somebody else in and have somebody take over that thing that I hated doing, that was not a good use of my time. And so business is the same way. When you approach business, and when you start a business, guys, you can approach it. The sky is the limit. Use your imagination. If I want to get into wholesaling and I'm reaching out to agents and people are submitting me deals and all this other kind of stuff, but I don't have a POF. I don't have earnest money. I don't know how to fill the contract out. I don't have buyers. Guess what? Just going back to that scenario that I just described in high school, if you could go back, business is the same way. It's an infinite game. Somebody is trying to kick your ass 24/7, 365, and it's not enough to just get to the top. You have to stay at the top, and you're still competing because everybody's trying to beat you. You have to stay competitive. And so when you go into it through that mindset, you know, I feel like I don't know how to take this question right here. Is squatting up the only way to get a POF? I think the question is worded wrong. The question should be, hey, who can I work with so we can get a POF, get over this hurdle? Who can I hand my math homework to so we can close a deal? And then obviously as a byproduct, as a consequence of us working together, how else can we make money? And not only how else can we make money, how many ways can we make money together? That should be the question.
1,000%. 1,000%.
So going back to that, to make a long story long, Chris, to go back to that original question that we had, how do we work together? Chris and I have built a business that we can literally step in and facilitate any part of the transaction that you guys need. You guys need lenders? Boom, we can facilitate that. You guys need people to negotiate your deals? Guess what? We can do that too. You guys need buyers. You guys need transaction coordinating work. You guys, whatever it is, we've built a business to where we can plug in to whatever part of that funnel or that pipeline looks like and help get those properties across the finish line. So if you're already reaching out to agents and doing all these things, you're getting onto Privy, you're submitting offers every single day, that's awesome. And if you're asking, hey, what is the next step here? Reach out to Chris and I. Let's say, hey, this is the next step. This is where we can help you. And let's get this across the finish line and let's go fill that freaking funnel up. Let's go get more deals. Let's make some money together.
Absolutely. No, that well said. 100% agree with everything you just stated. Always lead with value. Always lead with value and figure out how can I make money with whoever they may be. Later when I hop on the Zooms, also with my business partner, Jesse and Colin, all day, every day, we always make sure, you know, this is going to be intentional. So, you know, this is not going to be an hour, 2, 3 hour conversation about, hey, you know, how many cats you have, how many dogs you have. It's just initially, the conversation's got to be extremely intentional where you guys are looking to make money together, right? And that's not the only source. At the same time, Supreme on Fire. Is there a way for me to work with you guys as a wholesaler? Please help. Right now, my partner and I are in the process of finding on-market deals. Supreme on Fire. Don't know your real name, but to answer your question, there's a lot of ways. Jesse just explained it. We literally we build a business that literally is real estate in a box. We do it all. We have an acquisitions part of our business, dispositions. We handle transaction coordinating. We handle lending. We handle a lot of different aspects that a lot of newbies need, right? And also not just newbies, experienced investors. We work with literally people who have been in the industry for 2 days and 20 years plus. And the way you can, you know, if you have a deal, let's hop on a call. Let's see exactly what the next steps may be. But finding on-market deals is more so the communication part between you and that listing agent. What market are you looking for? What market are you in? Exactly what are you trying to attract? Are you attracting duplexes, single-family homes, multifamilies? It's a lot. That's a lot to unpack in that specific question, which we can definitely, you know, go in depth and have a deep dive conversation about that. If you want to hop on the Zoom with us, that's no problem at all. Jesse, do you have our Calendly link actually?
Yeah, I can.
If not, I can actually pull it right up for them.
I can grab it, but I can't. If I post it in the comments, it'll post it to YouTube only, I think.
Let's see. Okay. While he's working on that, Maj, love you too, man. Yeah, Maj is phenomenal. If you guys are not connected with Maj and his, I think his fiance, I want to say fiance, Anna, they're phenomenal individuals. They're buying in Colorado, looking for Airbnbs as well nationally. So if you guys need lending as well, Maj is a great person to connect with as well. Love you too, man. Definitely appreciate everything you've done. Maj is actually part of the Third Mind team as well, and he's been amazingly. I just want to say thank you. Words can't really describe how much Jesse and Colin appreciate you, man. But
love you, brother.
So I do want to bring Naomi. If I'm not saying it right, please correct me. It's Naomi Ijma on stage.
Here's the link to connect with us, guys. If you guys want to have like a one-on-one Zoom or something like that, if you guys have some specific questions that you want to go over, it's right there on the bottom. Naomi,
did you see it? Let's see. Is it delay on my end, or is it just?
No, it's looking like it's trying to set up on our end too.
Sorry.
Oh, she said she disconnected.
Okay. No worries. So let me go back to her initial question. I had it right here. Move.
Hey, real quick, if you guys are just jumping in here, we are doing a live Q&A. If you guys have stuff that you guys need answered, you want to know if you guys need clarity, whatever that is, we want to make sure that everybody watching has the clarity and the action steps to go and cause some chaos, go cause some momentum, whatever it is that you guys are needing. If you guys are putting in 5 offers a day, great. How do we scale that? If you guys are not putting in 5 offers a day every single day, then that's what we need to identify. And so if you guys have any specific questions on how you can get to there and continue scaling this, please let us know. Throw it in the comments. We'd love to have you guys on here and answer any questions you guys have, set you guys up for the next week and then the next month. And then obviously we want to make sure that you guys are at a point to where you have the clarity and you know everything that you need to between now and the end of the year to set you guys up going into next year and first quarter and all of 2023.
Absolutely. So Naomi's initial question was, Jesse, what is the best approach of putting offers online? Submitting directly to listing agents or having a buyer agent to put the offers in for you?
Great question.
That's a phenomenal question, actually.
Go ahead,
there's actually a lot of different avenues you can take. When putting on market offers, no disrespect to any realtors out there. I'm just going to disclaimer. I love realtors. We work with realtors all the time. However, you don't want to really involve a buyer's agent, right? Because initially that's another 3%, whatever they're trying to make on it. If you can go directly to the listing agent and you have the listing agent's phone number or email address, why do you want to involve a buyer's agent? So to answer your initial question, if it was me in your situation, I would just hop on the phone with the listing agent, gather information about the subject property, and see exactly what the next steps is. If you want to put in offers after you have that conversation, you can do it in numerous ways. You can do email, you can do call, you can do text, you can do Zoom, whatever it may look like, as long as you put that offer in. But anytime I put an offer in, I always build that rapport. You build that rapport, you build their credibility, so you don't have to worry about initially if they're going to accept my offer or not. Because think about it. If Jesse was my listing agent, I call in Jesse, and Jesse never heard my voice before. If I just send them a simple text, say, hey, this is my offer, these are my terms, they're just going to throw that out. You don't stand out from the rest of the crowd. If you got an offer at $100,000, somebody else got 3 people submitted offers at $100,000, who are they really going to pick? Someone that just sent a text or somebody actually heard their voice? You build that relationship, you build the rapport and that credibility. So to answer your question, I would just hop on the call and submit the offers, and you can do it verbally. Or if you want to be a little bit more formal, send it via email. Like, hey, just to let you know, I'm going to send an email, just basically the conversation we had in my LOI, which is a letter of intent for those who are new. What are your thoughts about that, Jesse?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Sorry, Naomi, I'm trying to get you in here, but it looks like it's still just kind of buffering. Yeah, no, I agree. I wouldn't involve an agent if I didn't have to. Why would I pay more money to an agent to basically say, hey, this is what I want to submit? So I wouldn't pay. I would just go directly with the realtor. And I saw another question right here that kind of ties in with where I wanted to go with that. Have you done texting with listing agents to submit offers? So here's how I think of it. And again, we talked about it last week, and we talked about it the week prior and the week prior to that. And basically every single meeting for the last couple of months that Chris and I have been running this. Chris, what is the I word that is just the theme of the entire show?
Intentional.
Intentional. Being intentional. Intentional, and freaking tensional. Now, what I mean by that is when you come into like these meetings, for example, I think that's why, especially like if you guys watch Wholesale Hotline or Sunday Service, what's the big thing that Pace and Brent and Jamil all push for? Everybody to be talking in the comments. Everybody to be squatting up, being intentional. When you guys come in here, you guys should be treating these meetings like you're walking into a boardroom full of other business professionals. So some of the things that you might say on Facebook, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say that stuff in here.
Right.
You know, treat it like a business. Treat it like you're in a board meeting.
Yep, Frank nailed it. Taking action, talking to people.
Absolutely. And you wouldn't go into a board meeting and have everybody sit around a table and just SMS people. Right? That's how I think about it. That's how I process it. So what am I going to do to stand out from everybody else in building a relationship with that agent? Because I don't want to just submit an offer. I want to build a relationship with that agent. I want them to send me all their problems. I want to be able to be a problem solver for them and get them freaking paid.
Absolutely.
Being intentional, right? That's what it goes back to. So if you think of anything that you do, any relationship, whatever it is that you guys are doing, you hop into Zooms, you're hopping onto, streams like this, whatever it is you guys are doing, in your head, think of those like a freaking board meeting. Like you're legit walking into a board meeting and a big round table with other real estate investors, with other business professionals, whatever that looks like. And that's how you should be treating those relationships that you're building. If that's the case, are you going to be a little bit more intentional? Are you going to ask questions a little bit differently? You wouldn't necessarily go into a board meeting and just send text messages to the people sitting across from you, right? You'd want to build a relationship with them.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I wouldn't text a listing agent, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like Chris said, do something to stand out.
And perfect example. I wish I knew who this was. It says Facebook user I just connected with Ian. He's squatting up already. He's taking action. I love that.
Facebook user is being intentional.
This is actually, let's see. Did you see? My computer's acting up. Naomi has another question. So she said, thanks for that. Actually, maybe put it on the screen so everyone can see as well. Thanks for that. What would you say about having a buyer's agent can help you get your offers accepted, or that you can get more offers in if you have a buyer's agent? Buyer's agent doesn't create credibility. It does not create credibility. It's just another voice, in my opinion. And again, realtors, I love you guys. It's reality, right? I have a lot of conversations on a daily basis with realtors, and especially in the world we're in, there's a lot. It's almost like playing telephone, right, Jesse? You got to talk to the buyer's agent. The buyer's agent got to talk to the listing agent. Listing agent got to talk to the seller. Seller is either going to agree or disagree, right? Seller's got to talk to the listing agent. Listing agent got to talk to the buyer's agent. Buyer's agent. It's just too many parties, too many voices. A lot of things going to get miscommunicated across the board. You just don't want to do that. And us being what we are, right? We're leaders in a lot of different things, and not just that, we have a lot of different strategies we can do to actually communicate with the listing agent and the seller. John, a couple of weeks, broke that down very flawlessly. We have so many opportunities where Jesse and I, if we get on the phone with the seller, 100% we're going to present 15 different options. But we can't do that talking to a buyer's agent. Then buyer agent trying to communicate all these 15 options to the listing agent. Then the listing agent get maybe 10 of those options, then present only 2 of those options to that seller. It's just too much. So just literally, again, if you're a buyer agent out there, I'm not trying to disrespect you guys. It's this reality. If you are a buyer agent out there, connect with us. Let's work together.
There we go.
We can show you how.
Yeah, it does. It turns into a big game of telephone, though, like Chris said. Especially once you start getting into creative finance. Like, let's say everybody who's watching right now, maybe if you're newer, right? Because you'll probably most relate with the average realtor on any given day in any market that you'll end up talking to. It just in terms of not knowing a lot about creative finance or not knowing anything at all. So let's pretend like Chris and I articulated something to you guys, and then you needed to go articulate that back to your mom, and then your mom needed to articulate that to the seller, who would have been your sister or brother or something like that. With you not knowing anything, how well is that information going to get articulated from you to your mom? And then how well is your mom going to understand that and be able to articulate that to your brother and your sister, and or whatever that looks like, just as an example. So that's kind of the sequence of events when you bring in a lot of hands in the pot who don't necessarily know a lot, let alone be able to, articulate in the manner that it needs to be articulated in. Once you start diving into creative finance, you need to be direct to seller. You need to be able to have those conversations, be able to overcome those objections, and you need to be able to build rapport. You can't build rapport if you got a handful of people in between you and the seller. And how is rapport built? Through credibility. And like Chris said, adding an extra agent and having an agent necessarily submit your offer does not build credibility.
Absolutely. Nicole Ted, amazing. She's another sub 2 OG. If you guys are not connected with her, please connect with her. But yeah, she's 100% late. There's a lot of agents out there that are just lazy. Just lazy. They wanted us just to hand them like everything and just call it a day. But Nicole, you nailed it right there. And also, I do want to see. I see we have Jen in here. Jen, are you able to come on? I wish we could spotlight you. I think she's. There we go.
Jen, can you hear us? You're on mute if you can hear us, and your camera's off.
She probably can't hear us. No worries at all. So no, you guys are asking a lot of phenomenal questions, especially when it comes to this. I love this. Like Gabby, you guys are squatting up, working together about whatever that may look like, Gators, EMD, all that good stuff. Literally, you're only holding yourself back if you're not squatting up. I love seeing these comments because initially you could definitely see who the action takers, and then you can also see exactly who's actually here just to maybe watch, which is great. But at the same time, the same watcher who's watching every week by week is going to see all these other individuals who's making 5-6 figures a month, right? I'm pretty sure I would like to see every single body in the side chat from YouTube to Facebook making that amount. I would love that. I want to be your biggest cheerleader.
And then we want to make money with you.
Yeah.
We want to make money with you regardless.
Let's see. Facebook user, if I'm going out there, putting in calls with agents, booking follow-up and leads in general, but move forward. We reach out to guys in conversation. So there's ways to approach this, right? What was it, episode number 2 with John, or was it episode 1? If you go back to that one, he breaks that down.
It was 1.
Oh, he'll break that down very, very thoroughly. But if you're going out, putting in calls with agents, booking up following calls, there's so many ways you can move forward. Literally, one, if your offer stands out from everyone, they're going to give you a call back or respond, right? And initially, don't just send a BS offer out there saying, hey, my offer is $100,000. I can close in 45 days, and I need a 50-day inspection period. Don't do anything too crazy like that. You want to stand out. Build a rapport with that individual, and then just bring it to us. Like, perfect example, myself. I got on the phone with a listing agent named Michael. The seller lives in Germany. This all happened yesterday, Germany. So the time I called him with the listing agent, the seller lives in Germany. It was like 12 o'clock at midnight their time, but they're on this phone call. And now we're in a position where I literally jumped in a phone call, communicated exactly what we can do, because their listing offer, it was out of this world. They was looking for the world, right? You know how sellers, they got emotional attachment to the house. They want the house to be listed at this. And then some agents don't really care. They just want the listing, right? For one, their brokerage, and 2, the commission that's going to come into place. But in this specific situation, we told the listing agent that we had a different option. I communicated with the agent and the seller, let them know exactly what these options were. To find out, Jesse, I, and our other business partner, Colin, we're taking out 3 triplexes and also a duplex. all from yesterday and over in Milwaukee. And that's something that would have happened if I would never got on the phone with the seller. Now, agents, we're not trying to cut the agents out or anything. We're going to pay the agent their regular commission, whatever that may look like. And or if the numbers make sense, we may have to adjust it. But long story short, we're very transparent. It's always black and white over here. There's no gray areas. We let the agent flat out know specifically, hey, we need to get on the call with the seller to see exactly what's going on. We need the full picture to see, one, the mortgage and all these other different things going on. But in this kind of situation, it was a blanket loan that was in place, and the blanket loan for 4 different properties, right? And this is a performing asset. Jesse, I, and Colin, we probably net on these properties probably like $2,200 easily, right? And that's great. And now this would never became an opportunity if I would have never hopped on the phone with the agent and the seller. I'm looking in Milwaukee. Love that, Bonnie, but we're not wholesaling this one out. we're keeping it. Appreciate you putting it out there, but we're not wholesaling that one out. But we definitely love to connect to see, because we don't keep everything, right? We definitely we do have a wholesale business, and we wholesale in all 50 states. We successfully closed real estate transaction so far, successfully 14 as to date. So it's a lot of different things that we're doing, and a lot of different things. We're trying to hit all 50 states. We'd love to buy in all 50 states. However, just don't throw us crap. The numbers got to make sense. You could try to sell us a dream, but we're not new to this industry. There's a lot of people that literally tell, but you can do this to the property, you can do this. In reality, you understand that, but the numbers got to make sense overall, right? And Jesse and our other business partner, Colin, we're very vocal about exactly what the next steps may look like, because at the end of the day, like everyone that's in this comment, we want to work with you guys. We want to partner with you guys. Like, instead of taking an assignment, would you like to stay in the deal? Would you like to have ownership of this property? And there's a lot of different opportunities out there where a lot of people don't see it as that way. They think the first thing, how much I'm going to make on this property, versus when we approach a conversation like yesterday's conversation about those triplex and the duplex, I did not once think one time how much I was going to make. I didn't think one time how much I was going to make. 24 hours later, 2 hours ago, I finally started underwriting stuff. Like, damn, $2,200 we can make net on all these properties, which is phenomenal. But yesterday during that call, I did not think about that, because if I had that mindset, I need to make $15,000 on this deal in order for this to work, you're never going to be where you need to be. You may get by, but you're never going to get truly to financial, freedom, success, or whatever that may look like. And I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but I really wanted to, kind of touch base on that specific question and let you guys know, like, just lead with value. Lead with value. Opportunities will come. Opportunities will always come. And it's okay to walk away from a property. I just want to throw that out. It's okay to say no to a property. If it doesn't work out for you, no problem. It may work out for somebody else. Everyone has their own buy box. Everyone has their own criteria. Everyone has their own specifics. And just truly, truly, truly got to just understand what you really want. It's just Jesse and I, we know what we want. We want a motivated seller who actually want the numbers make sense and work out. We don't want a fairy tale situation. Jesse and I, we buy properties all over all 50 states, even Alaska, guys. Even Alaska. It's crazy. We try to stay away from the landlord, I guess, New York, California, New Jersey. We don't really like those states. However, we do invest in those states if the numbers make sense. We don't really like to push too hard on that. But if you do have in all 50 states, we're willing to look at it. I don't want to just narrow it down, say, don't send us no deals because this, and this. But no, in reality, we do buy deals in all 50 states, but we're very, very choosy when it comes to those specific markets. That is all. Let's see. Nicole, we'd love to work with you as well. 100%. 100%. Carlos, thank you, Jesse and Chris. Can you talk about making low 40% cash offers and ways to introduce creative finance, because I'm making agent calls today? Well, I'm assuming you're doing that now. Carlos, that's a very good question. Very good question. So if I was to approach it, especially in a creative finance way. First, I always go cash first, right? We always go cash first, creative last. Because initially, you never know, your 40% cash offer may work. You just never know. It's plenty of times. Like I tell everyone that I work with, and also people that are green, if you make an offer, this even whether it's on market or off market, if you ever make an offer to a seller or an agent and you're comfortable to say it, it is not a deal. It is not a deal.
That is gold right there, man. I'm gonna have to take that clip out.
But literally, if it's not uncomfortable for you to say, then that's when you know you're gauging a conversation. You literally, I do it all the time. My business partner Jesse and Colin, they may say, "Okay, you need to go back and get this number at 120." Okay, I may go back to the agent or seller and let them know specifically we need to be at 90. And I'll just say it. Like, do I feel comfortable saying that number? No. Shit, I'd rather say 120 all day and get this done. and the seller might be at 120. You just never know, right? But I literally learned the best deals comes from just being uncomfortable. Every day I put myself in uncomfortable positions. Every day I literally force myself to do things I don't want to do. I could be tired on the couch, want to go to sleep. Shit, let me just get my phone and make another phone call. Because I know at the end of the day, that's another opportunity. That could be another life changer. That could be a 6-figure deal, right? Literally, we can tell you stories all day. Literally, how not to lose $120,000. And that was in California. That's why we don't like California. But literally, but to bring it back on home, just please, guys, leave with value. Carlos, just go in there uncomfortable where it needs to go in cash first. And then if you're going to do the creative approach, just literally set it up, tee it up for somebody else. Tee it up for Jesse and I. Literally, it could be a simple conversation. They deny your offer, your 40% cash offer. Say, okay, although this doesn't work, is there any way you'd be open to a creative conversation? We may have another opportunity for you to get this to the finish line, whatever that conversation may look like. And then they say, okay, what is that? You just let them know that you person, not the finance guy that's in the business or whatever that may look like, and just say, actually, can we schedule a call to hop on our business partners later in the day or the next few days? And Jesse and I, we did it plenty of times where we had literally the seller come in the damn Zoom. The Zoom. We come in the Zoom, and we literally had to understand, like we full disclosure, we wanted everyone to be very transparent. Like we wanted the agent in there, we wanted the husband, wife, sister, whoever's involved. I don't care if it was 100-person Zoom, but more so, we wanted to let them know that we have options for them. We wanted to see what the best way it was to move forward, right? And we let them know up front. Every time we let them know up front, we're not for sure if it's going to work out. We just want to make sure we understand the full picture before proceeding to the next step, right? And usually they give us a full overview, and that opens the conversation up because they may be in foreclosure and they may be losing their house. You just never know exactly what the next steps may be. And you got to approach it and open that up because they will have walls up. Jesse and I come across a lot of conversations where you could tell instantly they have a wall up and they don't want to have a conversation because they don't know me. I don't know them. And I totally get it. So you got to kind of rip that Band-Aid off a little bit, but softly. So it is. I hope that answers your question, Carlos. It's phenomenal seeing you again. I saw you a couple weeks ago as well. Good to see you in here.
Let me throw in here real quick. Ways to introduce creative financing for agents. Guys, this is what I want you to do. Write this down verbatim. Okay. Like Chris said, make an offer that you're uncomfortable making. Go make an uncomfortable cash offer. That's a good offer. You know, it's funny. Chris says that all the time, man. And I love it. It's become like our mantra in our business. We were working a $2.5 million property in Arizona with our team Mana, as we call them. And Chris was like, man, I'm gonna offer him a cash offer of 1.5 or 1.6 or something like that. and he's right, man. He's like, man, how like insulting is that? You know what I mean? If you're uncomfortable making that offer, what a great offer. Because if you've got, and this all just kind of ties in. If you guys have read the book, Never Split the Difference, perfect example. And then maybe you go back and forth, and maybe you finally end up agreeing on a price that you had originally wanted to offer. But had that been your first offer, you would have ended up above that. You know what I mean? So I love that. I love that Chris said that. And then ways to introduce creative financing. Here's what I want you guys to write down verbatim. Okay. If you guys make that 40% offer and it does not work, they're saying, no, F off. This is not the deal for us. But if you can tell that they're motivated, the numbers just don't work as a cash offer, here's what I want you to do. Say, okay, Mr. Seller, it doesn't sound like I'm going to be your buyer on a cash offer. However, we buy properties a handful of different ways. If you think your seller might be open to something a little less conventional. My business partners usually handle that part of our business. If you think that is something they would be receptive to, I would love to see how we can move forward together. Answer any questions that you or your client have. Get you paid. Is that something you would be opposed to? I want you to say that verbatim, guys. Luckily, this is recorded. You can go back and listen to that if you need to, but I'd say that verbatim, just like I articulated it. And then give Jesse and Chris a call and say, hey, guys, I've got you set up. We've got a phone call tomorrow or later in the day or next week with the agent and or the seller. And that's how I would start introducing creative finance. Just plant that seed. Notice in that for a second, I did not say anything about creative finance. I did not say seller finance. I did not say sub 2. I didn't say anything of that. I said we buy properties a handful of different ways. And if your client would be open to something a little less conventional, I'd love to see how we can move forward, answer any questions you or your client have, and get you paid.
Love it. I love that as well. And Facebook user, I don't know who you are. It says terms. You don't want to kind of lead with terms. Basically, I think I would stick with what Justin stated. You don't want to just say terms because then they're going to say, what's terms? There's a lot of different language you want to kind of stay away from. Initially, are we going to get to terms? 100%, but I wouldn't lead with terms or anything like that. I know we got a couple minutes left, guys. This question just stuck out to me because I am in New York. I wish I know who this is. It says Facebook user. However, I see you're in New York. I can tell you already right now, I wouldn't buy this. Don't have much content about it. However, at the same time, it's to each his own, right? Usually I'm doing 0 to 3, if not 5% max, depending on if I'm negotiating. Now, if it's going to be an Airbnb or something like that, I will pay a little bit more as far as like the down payment. However, we need a lot more content. Exactly what the cash return is going to be, how long the duration is, there a balloon payment. I believe you got 7 years and 25. PUNT. I think it's a lot of misinformation. Syracuse University. If you're a sub 2 student, there's a lot of people in Syracuse. We actually have our accountability calls 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So it's really Rochester, Syracuse, Buffalo, Albany, and all that good stuff. However, if you're not a sub 2 student, let's connect and see if we can get more information. Because I don't know if it's a single family. I don't know, a duplex. It's just a lot of misinformation here. And I don't know if there's room for value add or what the property looks like, but that's definitely a good question. But let's connect though. But let's see. I'm not sure if you're referring to what's the business in college. So yeah, let's connect. Sorry, I wish I knew who I was speaking to. It says Facebook user. And Jesse, where would they have to change that if they see their name?
So it says, at the top of the post, it'll say like creative financing, whatever Facebook page you're in. Go up to where it says the name of that, and then it says like Carly is live or Jesse is live or wherever. Right up there, right above the actual video portion of it, there's a small link that says to get your name thrown on here, click this link so StreamYard can accept it on Facebook or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys were amazing. We'll be back next week, same time, 1:30 Eastern Standard Time to 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you guys got any questions, concerns in the meantime, please feel free to reach out. We are creating our new YouTube channel, which is going to be the Elephant Show podcast with Jesse and Chris. That will be launched tomorrow, if not Monday morning. So, guys, like, share, follow. We're making announcements and all that good stuff. That'd be phenomenal. Ian, you're amazing. The link is Ian. The link is at StreamYard.com. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. Phenomenal individuals that came on here. Definitely see you next week, and please feel free to reach out. You guys have a great one.
Thank you, guys. Have an awesome day. Thanks for being with us.